For years, Nicolás Maduro remained entrenched at the heart of power. So how was his location exposed? How did foreign forces penetrate the heart of Caracas? And who opened the door from the inside? Since mid-2025, the United States had begun preparations for a complex operation targeting the head of power in Venezuela. During that phase, Washington strengthened its military presence in the southern Caribbean region, starting in August 2025, by deploying naval assets and additional forces under the cover of counter-narcotics operations. This coincided with intense intelligence activity inside Venezuela, led by the CIA, aimed at tracking President Nicolás Maduro's movements, monitoring his temporary residences, and analyzing his daily mobility patterns. With the assistance of a source close to Maduro, the agency obtained precise information about his whereabouts at the moment of execution. In addition, an informant with direct access to him was recruited, ready to relay the exact location to U.S. forces at each hour. On the military level, the Joint Operations Command at the Pentagon oversaw the preparation of a detailed operational scenario. The elite Delta Force unit was selected to carry out the direct assault, given its experience in high-risk missions. The unit constructed a full-scale replica of a heavily fortified secret compound believed to be used by Maduro as a safe house in central Caracas, and trained on it repeatedly to ensure swift execution and minimize the chances of resistance or escape. In parallel, extensive air and naval support was mobilized for the operation, involving more than 150 military aircraft of various types, including aircraft carriers and warships that had been pre-positioned in the Caribbean Sea, with the aim of ensuring complete air superiority over Venezuela on the night of execution. As the end of December 2025 approached, the plan was ready, but military commanders recommended waiting a few additional days in anticipation of improved weather conditions over Caracas, given the importance of cloud cover for airborne insertion operations. The execution date was set for the night of January 3, 2026, and the operation was given the code name Absolute Resolve. Evening of January 2nd, 2026. The final decision. On the evening of Friday, January 2nd, after a series of high-level coordination meetings, U.S. President Donald Trump gave the final green light to carry out the operation. According to Pentagon sources, the decision was issued at 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time, following confirmation of the plan's readiness and the availability of favorable weather conditions. That night, a final message was sent to the participating forces, signaling the start of H hour. The operation begins inside Caracas. Shortly before 2 a.m. local time, the preparatory phase of the attack began. Residents of Caracas heard at least 7 explosions across different parts of the city, accompanied by low-flying aircraft. Columns of fire and smoke were seen rising from military sites, most notably the Fuerte Tiuna complex, the largest base of the Venezuelan army, where fires broke out following concentrated bombardment. At the same time, U.S. fighter jets carried out precise strikes to disable air defense systems surrounding the capital, opening a safe corridor for helicopters. A broad electronic warfare campaign was also launched, targeting radars and military communications networks. Reports spoke of the bombing of certain broadcast and communications towers, as well as power outages in southern neighborhoods of the capital. Amid this scene, American helicopters flew at extremely low altitude over residential areas, triggering panic among civilians. Residents were seen running through the streets in search of shelter, while the U.S. Embassy issued an urgent warning, urging those present to remain indoors. The moment of the assault and arrest. At approximately 2 a.m., the Special Forces unit reached the secret compound where Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were present. The two attempted to move toward a secure room inside the building, but the assault team caught them before the door could be sealed. Maduro and his wife were found suffering from superficial injuries, with bruises and bandages later visible on Celia Flores. According to U.S. military sources, the couple surrendered without significant fighting inside the room and were subdued within seconds after an attempted barricade was thwarted. Surrounding clashes and withdrawal. In the vicinity of the operation, U.S. helicopters came under fire from elements of the Presidential Guard. American command confirmed that one helicopter was hit by gunfire but continued flying. Brief clashes lasting several minutes took place, resulting in casualties among the defending forces. Later, the Venezuelan military acknowledged the death of 23 Venezuelan soldiers, in addition to 32 Cuban military advisors who had been present to support the defenses. Civilian injuries were also recorded, including one person killed due to the partial collapse of a residential building in the Katia Lamar area. Initial estimates of the death toll ranged between 40 and 80 people. On the other side, U.S. forces reported no fatalities. Evacuation and announcement. With the mission completed, the helicopters left Venezuelan airspace at around 3 a.m., and by 3:30 a.m., the forces had reached international waters. Maduro and his wife were transferred to a U.S. warship and later boarded the USS Iwo Jima en route to the United States. During the operation, President Trump followed events via a live feed from the Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. At 4:21 a.m. Washington time, he officially announced the success of the operation and the arrest of Maduro, stating that a press conference would be held later the same day. At sunrise, Venezuela entered a state of political confusion. Maduro's absence from the scene became evident, and Vice President Delcy Rodriguez stated that she did not know his whereabouts, describing what had occurred as a kidnapping. Security forces and pro-government militias spread through the streets of Caracas, setting up checkpoints, while limited demonstrations took place, expressing mixed sentiments ranging from anger to hope. Thus, the early hours of dawn on January 3, 2026, produced a new reality in Venezuela. A president detained abroad, a regime in shock, and a society awaiting the consequences of an unprecedented political phase.